Hello and welcome to Real Estate and the Adventures of Parenthood with Cindy Presgrace. So, I want to talk today about dreaming big goals. And do you have to be in a higher place to actually achieve all your goals? No, that's not it. So, so how it all started. I actually moved to Atlanta, Georgia almost 5 years ago. So back in 2018, 2017, I actually started doing my internship on as a pastry chef at Chateau Lawn. And then I actually moved back to Mine on Earth, Dakota for 6, 7 months. And that's when I find out May 2018, I found out that the kid's dad had gotten orders to South Korea and then to Japan. So, I mean, it was like, we can make this work. And I would actually go ahead and let's say I would actually set him for success, meaning that he would be a stay-at-home dad. He wouldn't have to work or anything. That was the whole goal. That was the whole main purpose of me moving to Atlanta, Georgia. And little did I know, not even a year later, we would be getting divorced. So our divorce started, April 2019. We tried working it out and all that, but it was a little bit difficult because I, you know, it was a heartbreaking decision. I didn't want to get divorced at all. I mean, I was heartbroken, and believe me, I tried everything and anything to actually save the marriage. Was it successful? No, I'm still single today. But was it worth it? Was it every single little thing? Was it completely worth going through that pain, through that experience? Of course, it actually helped me going through the experience. Was it at the time that I went through it? Was it perfect? No, it was not. Did I know what was I doing? No support, no friends, no family around. I mean, I had to learn to take care of myself, not only of myself, but also of my kids, how to rely on me, on how to rely on everything. I was like, hey, you know what? Yeah, I can't do that. And I remember the perception that I had, the mindset that I had back then was like, okay, so you know what? I remember back then was like, I want to make so and so, and so it's really interesting in how we evolve with every year, every experience that we go through life is our dreams become bigger, and sometimes we limit ourselves. Like tonight, I was talking to highly successful people, and they were talking about not, we see like $1,000 is a lot. We see 100,000, 200, 400,000. We're looking at, $1 million. That's a lot. But the people that I was talking to tonight was like, oh no, you know what? This is what we're talking about. 120, 150 million, $250 million. And I'm like, wow, this is a whole level of, you know, perception, mindset. Your mindset completely shifts onto, wait, what can I do? How can I do? If my goals are only for instance, as a real estate agent, my goals are selling $50 million, right? Okay, but what am I doing to actually accomplish and get there? But then how much knowledge do I want? So, and the reason that I'm actually talking about this is because I'm talking about goals, but how do we achieve those goals and how do we actually completely change our mindset? Because our mindset has to change in order for us to continue moving up that level, moving up that goal. And I'm not saying that it's all about money or it's all about leveling up. I mean, of course, it is about leveling up, but it is about what do you want to accomplish with that? Where do you want to be at? So if you see that sometimes people are like, I don't know where else I'm going to go with real estate. But real estate is such a broad spectrum, meaning that we have multifamily, we have commercial, we have land, we have residential, but when you talk about commercial, then you're talking about many things. I mean, industrial, new business, neighborhood business. We're talking about retail, gas stations. So, what do you actually want to specialize with that? And I'm just talking generally more into real estate because me, as having a background in sales and marketing, international contracting, I'm very passionate about helping people. But sometimes it's just like, wait, I'm just going to focus on this because this is all I know. Now, the question is, how much are you seeking and where do you want to be at? What do you want to accomplish? Is there a possibility for more? There's always a possibility for more. The question is, what do you want to do? First of all, is what are your goals? What are your what do you see working yourself? And I've been talking about multifamily for a while. I mean, I haven't talked about it in on my podcast or anything, but I do have knowledge of multifamily. And the reason that I'm talking about multifamily here is because, okay, so there's different sections of multifamily. We have A, B, C, D. Class D is like, oh my gosh, this is need a hallelujah here. Hallelujah, like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? We need help with this completely. But how are we gonna grow with it? Or how can we actually make money? Do you want to go ahead and put a lot of work into it? Or how much? Or how many doors do you want to accomplish? And I know this is all about goals, but when you are coming into a goal is not about working all the time, because sometimes we focus on ourselves on working, but then, like, I was talking to a single mom earlier. She's like, look, I worked for this cruise line for so many years, and I bought all my five kids, I bought them cars, paid for the colleges and all that, but I couldn't make it on an income of $120,000 a year. You know, I had to have different businesses, and she brought like around 225,000. So she has a travel agency, she sells life insurance, and she used to work at the cruise line. So that's three different jobs. Is what are you achieving, or what are you doing to actually accomplish the main goals? Meaning, do you want to have multiple jobs, or do you want to have something with a stream of passive income? And sometimes we're like, oh, you know what, saving. But then if you're saving, how are you going to make that money grow? Do you want to make that money grow? And sometimes, you know what? It's like I was listening to Jay Shetty this morning. They were talking about what are the ways of actually growing your money. One of them is saving, yes, but it's buying assets. Assets, meaning real estate. Yes, we invest in real estate and sometimes be like, oh, no. It's not necessary. But in order to create that passive income, yes, I mean, real estate is one of them. Perfect. But then again, we have not only real estate, but what is an excellent investment? Now I'm going to say real estate, real estate, real estate, real estate. And believe me, real estate is not easy. I mean, I'm not saying as an agent, it's not easy. As a buyer, seller, investor, it depends. How are you doing psychologically? Meaning, as to, hmm, I mean, it can take a toll on you, but are you ready to go through that emotional roller coaster? So now, if you are going to invest into a short term, long term um, investment, it's a totally different story. But then when you get into commercial, that's a totally different story. But then again, if you are doing multifamily, meaning, multifamily that could be 2 units and up. What are you doing? Do you want that freedom? But then again, do you want to take that responsibility of managing it? Would you manage it? So if you want to have passive income and you don't want to work that hard, I always say your goals are always achievable, meaning that yes, we are going to have to put some sweat and work on it. And but it's going to depend on how you want to start. You got to start somewhere completely. And they say like, hey, you know what? In my case, if I were younger and my experience was to buy a house, you know what I would be buying? A duplex or a triplex. In that way, I could use those two units to pay for mine. And not only that, but if I had a triplex or a duplex, one of those units is going to be paying for my mortgage. But then I would have actually that extra income that I can actually use to actually buy another duplex or a triplex or quadruplex. So then that's how you continue going up and leveling up. So now, if you had a duplex or a triplex or a quadruplex, that's actually considered multifamily. Yes, they're small, but did you know that there's a DSCR loan? And with that, you can actually, if you had that property, then you can actually, I mean, there's so many ways of actually becoming an investor. Now, the question is, are you ready for it? Are you ready to make that move? Because sometimes it is scary. Like when you're actually buying your first house, buying your first house is a little bit scary because I went through it last year and I was like, should I? Shouldn't I? Should I just move forward? Should I not? I mean, it's a completely roller coaster of events. And sometimes we don't know what to do. Sometimes we get cold feet. It's just like walking down the aisle. Should I marry him? Shouldn't? Is this a good decision? Run! But now it's just like you got to think about what are your goals? Where do you want to be? And how do you see yourself? Is it attainable? Yes, of course. Like I said, my goal is to sell 50 million this year. You see this? I finally got my whiteboard. Is it a little bit broken? Yeah, it is. But I mean, that's a different story. But, anyways, it's if you focus on yourself, you focus on the goals that you want, and you see your goals every day, you're going to achieve them. Is creating discipline. If you don't create discipline and build that discipline and that consistency, how are you expecting to achieve your goals? It's not like, hey, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do everything above, but are you putting the effort? What are you doing? Are you making your calls? Are you prospecting? Are you door knocking? Are you making your videos on social media? What are you doing to actually achieve those goals? And some people are like, but I need to look pretty to actually make a video. No. Have you seen me? I wake up and I make videos. And sometimes it's like, okay, let me see. And I mean, you can't be putting excuses. You got to show the real self, the real you. Because once you put the real you out there, you're going to have more following. You're going to have people get to know you more. If they don't like you, you know what? Guess what? You can keep on scrolling, people. Keep on scrolling. And you know what? You're not going to be liked by everybody, but some people are nosy. It's just like, for instance, now I'm going to be talking a little bit of social media. Okay, you see me everywhere. You see me on podcasts. You see me um, YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat. Yes, Snapchat. Clapper. Did I say Instagram? LinkedIn, Facebook. And it's just like, for me, it's just like, I didn't know I had almost 5,000 subscribers on Snapchat. You'd be like, isn't Snapchat for something else? People, Snapchat has changed a little bit. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, those stories disappear. But when it comes to that, people that, in my case, I just went ahead and added everybody that is a quick ad. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and add everybody to a quick ad. That way, even if it's like clients that have been trying to get a hold of, people that have been trying to reach, they can see my Snapchat because I've had past clients on my database. Like I've been trying to reach out to them. They've actually ignored me. They have actually ghosted me. But at the same time, when I go ahead and reach out to them, they don't answer, but they like to see my videos. So that means I'm being kept on top of mind with them. So that means this would be for Instagram Reels, for Facebook Reels, for YouTube Shorts, for TikTok. I mean, it is all of that. You want to have a high presence. So, how does this relate to your goals? Is how willing are you to expose yourself and be the authentic you? Because once you're the authentic you, you're going to be reaching the stars. But then again, it's just like, what do you really want to do? Are you afraid of talking about yourself? Do you think you're the only one going through that situation? Not really. I mean, you never know what other people are going through. And okay, let's throw an example here. Yes, I have a book. I wrote a book, and my book is Becoming Successful in Real Estate: How I Sold My First 15 million in Real Estate as a Single Parent. Why did I write this book? Because this book is actually helping people on how do you get into real estate? What actually happens in real estate? What are the things that you're never told by your broker or by anybody into when getting into real estate? Is real estate a piece of cake? No, it's not. Do you have those easy transaction at times? Yeah, that's like a unicorn. But you do. I mean, sometimes you have these easy clients. It's like, wow, that was awesome. And sometimes you have these clients that are like, oh my gosh, this is a roller coaster of events. Like, I had a client that he said, like, you know what? I am actually going to cancel the contract. Wait, what? We are under contract. What are you talking about? Like, yeah, I'm canceling the contract. I don't want to sell my house anymore. I'm like, what are you talking about? Yeah, I just want to go ahead and just cancel the contract. Uh, no, you cannot. I mean, legally, he can't just because once you go under contract, then you are actually, you're in a legal contract, you're binding in a contract. The buyer is the only one that can actually walk away. And the reason that the buyer can only walk away is during the due diligence period. The only way after that due diligence period has ended, that buyer only way out of that contract would be if the financing contingency fall through, or that would be basically it, unless it's a cash offer, and then that's a different total story there. But it's the only way, because once it's legal, it's a binding contract. The buyer can sue the seller, or the seller can sue the buyer. And moving forward with that is knowing what you're going through. What are the things that you need to know? And it comes with experience, because I mean, what the first time is like, oh wait, how do I even write a contract? Is that even possible? What do I need to know? Like, now I can write a contract in 10 minutes, but depends on what type of contract, because sometimes the contracts are a little bit too complicated. And you'd be like, wait, what? Yeah, they're a little bit. I mean, you put stipulations, I mean, especially if it's a it's not financial contingency, contingency upon the sale of your home, or there's more stuff involved, like a lease back, which I don't like doing those. Or, hey, you know what? Let's go ahead and have everything included in the property, like um, furniture and other things. That would be like inventory, bill of sale. And sometimes it's just easier just to add it to the sale of the house, the amount. But yeah. So now going back to your goals is set a list of the goals that you want to accomplish. Is it possible? Yes, everything is possible. How much do you want it? Are you seeing it every single day? How do you see yourself within the next 6 months? What do you need to do to actually accomplish those goals? So there's this really good book called The 12-Week Year. The 12-week year, it actually runs into quarters, which is pretty awesome, because right now we're still in the first quarter of the year. But are you accomplishing those? How many things you actually have to do in order to accomplish your first quarter goals? Or are you leaving everything till the end of the year? Are you? I would highly recommend that. And then, can you keep that promise to yourself? There's a few things that I actually wrote on about the 12 week year, because you're actually when you actually read the 12 book 12-week year, you're actually committing to yourself. What are you actually committing to yourself? So, for instance, my fitness workout, my commitment to myself is working out 5 days a week. Okay, I am not going to say I'm putting excuses, but Monday I was feeling fine. Tuesday and Wednesday, oh my gosh, I felt like crap, meaning that I had a 24-hour stomach bug. And I'm like, okay, I can't do this. And I'm like, but I'm going to work out Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and Monday too. So I'm trying to keep up with my workouts, and I'm trying to go ahead and moving forward with that. So now I have my sales volume, what I want to make in GCI, gross commission income, and what do I want to do as an investment property? How much investment properties do I want to have? Meaning, am I counting doors or am I counting investment properties? Or am I counting the amount of money that they cost? So there's many things to count on that. So I have this list of things that I really want. And how many listings am I going to go to? And I'm talking more as a real estate agent perspective, but you can actually translate this into different other businesses. Like how many other, how many people do I want to reach this year, right? And in that case, is like how many books I want to read. What type of books do you want to read? Or you want to spend more time listening to music, or do you want to read more books? What is more important? So if you read more books with self development, then you're going to gain more knowledge. Your mindset and your perspective is going to completely change. It's going to completely shift. So those are the little things that you have to take into consideration. Where do you want to be and how do you see yourself? And sometimes it's like, but it's too hard. But you got to start somewhere. Working out 5 times a week, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do that. But if you think about it, is okay, let's start with 4,000 steps on a daily basis for the next 2 weeks. Then we increase 5,000 steps. Then we increase another 1,000 steps, like that. And you gotta take it small, step by step. If you try to take and tackle everything at once, you're not going to accomplish everything. And it's very, very interesting because sometimes we're like, but I want to become a trillionaire. But how do I get into a trillionaire? I need to start somewhere first, right? What are you passionate about? What brings you to life? What are the things that you're willing to do? And are you really willing to commit to yourself, or are you willing to let yourself down? I'm just going to let you answer that to yourself. How important are those goals? Huh. Did you answer that? Is it really important? Okay, so we're talking about family, health, fitness. Well, health, I mean, it does fall into fitness, personal, business, I mean, do you have things in your bucket list that you want to accomplish? Right? Are those important or not? So if you see things like that, they're important. If you write them down, you can actually say, wow, I am writing these down. This is very important to me. You put them on a piece of paper, you put them in a whiteboard, you see it every day. You see it every day. And that's what matters. That's what's important for you. So I wanted to talk about those goals just because a lot of people have limiting beliefs. And at times it's just like, is it really worth it? I mean, can I really do that? Yes, you can. But if you question yourself and you say, can I really? Is that even possible? Nothing's impossible in this world as long as you put your heart and yourself to it, meaning you work your butt off. Is it easy at the beginning? Of course, it won't be. But I know you can. You can accomplish anything you want and you can move forward. And don't let anything put you down. And yes, you're always going to have your ups and downs. But what really matters is that final goal. All right, people, this is Cindy Pressgrace, and I'll see you guys next time.